Here is a story. I just remembered the story. It was told to me by Rabbi Shabbatai Slavatitsky that he has the Chabad house in Antwerp, Belgium. I heard the story from him 20 years ago, 30 years, a long time ago. A lot of the people that are in his congregation still are, I don't know how many are still alive, but they were Holocaust survivors. They were Holocaust survivors. And they went into diamonds, whatever, then they succeeded, but they were all broken inside. All of them were broken inside, but they hid it to various degrees. they dealt with life, however. Okay, there was one of his congregation that every time there was the blessing of the Kohanim, he would leave. Outside of Israel, the blessing of the Kohanim is some places in Israel, the Kohanim stand up and they make a priestly blessing every day. Some of them do it every day. Some do it every Shabbat. Some do it outside of Israel. It's only done in the holidays and only on Musaf. So there's very few. I didn't make the calculation how many there are, but there's like 10 times of the year or something like that. That there's the blessing of the Kohanim. And so this person would leave the synagogue whenever there was the blessing of the Kohanim. Blessing of the Kohanim. So finally, the rabbi asked him why it was. He invited him to his house, and because each one of these people, they have a whole, a hidden portfolio of heartbreak and pain and suffering. They remember their family, their wives, their children that all got killed. So he had to be very delicate about it. But finally, he invited him to his house or whatever. They found the proper time, and he asked him what it was. So he said, "I'm glad you asked me that question." He said, "The reason I leave the synagogue is because of the following." He said, I was in Auschwitz. So when we were in Auschwitz, said they packed 500 people into barracks that held maybe 200 or something, and everybody had to sleep on their sides, and they slept one next to the other, and packed. And we had to work all day, and people were dying and stuff like that. One day, he said there was one person that he would go around. A religious Jew. He would go around and he would comfort people. Saw someone was crying, someone this, as much as he could, he would comfort people and say a good word here and a good word there. And he had his own troubles. He had his own, tragedies that happened to him, but he ignored his own needs. Sometimes he would give his last piece of bread to somebody in this. One day, one evening, he stands up before we go to sleep, and he announces and he says, "Listen, in 4 or 5 days, there's going to be Passover, and we need matzah. Anyone who can figure out how to get us matzah should tell us." Oh, who cares about matzah? Now, also in the Holocaust, there were it's not really clear exactly what the proportion was. There were a lot of religious Jews living in Europe, but a lot more non-religious Jews. The main target of Hitler was all the Jews, but especially the non-religious Jews. Because he said they were like a cancer. They were trying to pretend like they're, really Germans, and they're really not. But in any case, so there was a lot of non-religious Jews that were there also in the room. Let's say 50-50. Okay. So he said, we have to get matzah for them. So everybody's thinking, what are you talking about, matzah? If we could just get another little piece of bread, everybody would be happy. They gave them the minimum rations. So he said, we have to find some matzah. So he said, one day, someone came up to the Rav, the next day maybe, the next evening, and said, "Can you tell me what this is?" He looked at his hand, a little piece of matzah. He said, "Where did you find this?" He said, I was walking back. I was thinking about what you said, and I saw on the ground or on a leaf or something like that. I saw what it seemed to be a little piece of cracker or something. I picked it up, and it looks like it's matzah, and a little piece of matzah. I'm showing it to you, matzah. So they made an inquiry, and it comes out that one of the prisoners that slept there worked cleaning a house of one of the SS officers. And it seems that he cleaned up the house right. Who knows what it was properly. And so the SS officer let him clean the house. And he saw the opportunity that he would clean out the oven. He would take the oven and clean it out as well as he could. And he got some flour from this, and he made a matzah for himself. Made a matzah for himself, one piece. So they found this person, and they said, "You made a matzah for yourself." He said, "How did you know? How did you find it?" He said, "You have to make 2 more. You have to make some more." He said, "No, leave me alone. Take this one that I've got." And that one that I made, my soul, I almost went out of my body. I was so scared that he would come back. He would smell something that I made the matzahs. You have to make 2 more. You have to do it. Anyway, he convinced this person, and he made 2 more matzahs. And he came back on a night of Passover. So everyone came back from work. They worked all day, and there was 500 of them. And the rabbi, he stood up and he said, "We have matzah. We have matzah. Don't ask how I got it. I got matzah." He cracked off a little piece. They gave it a little piece to everybody. 500 people. Everybody had a little piece of matzah, little crumb, whatever it is, matzah. And he said, "Okay." Now he said the Haggadah of Passover as much as he remembered by heart. And he said, "Okay, now is the time. Eat the matzah. Everyone make a blessing and eat the matzah." So they all made a blessing. They ate. He said, "Okay, we just did a commandment. Now we have to be happy. No, we have to be happy. We went out of Egypt. Nothing can contain the Jewish soul. Let's be happy." And they all started singing. Whatever they sang. All of a sudden, the doors burst open. And there came in the camp guards with the SS guys and everything with submachine guns. And they said, "We're going to kill everybody in this place. We'll kill everyone one at a time. Who brought this? Why are you happy? What's the cause of the happiness? In Auschwitz, you don't sing. You only cry in Auschwitz. There's no happiness in Auschwitz. Who is the cause of this?" They grabbed one person, grabbed hold of him, and took his Luger, whatever it is, put it to his head, said, "Okay, I'll give you to 3 until I'm going to kill you one at a time." So the rabbi says, "You don't have to kill everybody at one at a time. I'm the one that did it. I'm the one that made everybody happy." He didn't say anything about the matzah. "I made everybody happy. It was me. I instigated the whole thing. I started the singing. You can kill me. You want to kill me? Kill me." And the guard said, the commander said, "I'll kill you when I want to kill you. Tonight, nobody sleeps. We'll call you from your barracks. You're going to see, you're going to be have a show, give you a show." Sure enough, nobody slept. They kept the guards there. Anyone who went to sleep, they would shoot them. And they after a couple of hours said, "Okay, everyone out into the courtyard." Brought everyone into the courtyard. It's cold. They're all standing there, and there's spotlights on everybody and guards from from all around the walls from this with high powered rifles. And they said, "Okay, anyone who does not look at this, what we're going to do is going to be shot." There was in front there was a scaffold, a podium with a scaffold with a rope hanging. And said, "Now here is your rabbi. We're going to hang him to teach you that no one is ever happy in Auschwitz." So the rabbi, they put the noose around his neck. This is the man telling Rabbi Slavatitsky, right? This whole story. They put a noose around his neck. And he said, "Okay, now we're going to count to 3. We're going to kill him." All of a sudden, this rabbi says, "Tell me, are you a man or are you a coward?" So the commander says, "What are you talking about?" He says, "If you're a man, you'll give me my last wish. People get their last wish before they're killed. If you're a coward, you'll kill me right now." He says, "Last wish, what do you want to do?" He said, I'm a Kohen, and I want to bless the people." He said, "How long is that going to take?" He says, "It'll take maybe a half a minute." He said, "Okay." So he said, "Release the noose." So they took the noose off his neck. He said, "But if you try anything, we're going to torture you to death in front of everybody. This is an easy death you're going to get." He said, "Don't worry." They let his hands go. He lifted his hands up. The Kohanim, how do they do it? Like this. How do they do it? Let's like that. Something like that. They make a sign like this. And they say, he said, this man said that the Kohen, the rabbi, was a Kohen. He gave a blessing to everybody, and then they hung him in front of everyone. He said, that blessing that Kohen gave, that rabbi gave, that's what held me sane and alive through all of the tortures of Auschwitz. And that's what keeps me alive and sane now. And I don't want to ever forget that. I don't want to mix that blessing of the Kohen, his blessing, with any other blessing. I want only his words to ring out in my ears. That's why every time there is a blessing of the Kohanim, I always leave. I don't want to hear a blessing of the Kohanim from anyone else. And so it should be echoing in our minds that the Rebbe said, turn the world over to bring Mashiach. That should echo in our minds now. And that should keep us sane and, positive and productive, proactive in this terrible exile that we're in, which should end any second now. Mashiach, the Rebbe, will take us out of Egypt in the blink of an eye. Have a good day with Mashiach now. See you all tomorrow, 8 o'clock.